Ladies and gents, and welcome to tonight's episode of Le Morte d'Arthur. Tonight we are returning to Cornwall and the tale of the young Sir Alexander, who's been sworn to take vengeance upon the evil King Mark, who slew his father. He's already gone out into the world, he's already defeated one assassin who was sent against him, and now he has been delivered into the arms of the evil witch Morgane Le Fay. Poor soul! What will happen to him? We will find out in tonight's tale. And good Monday to you as well, Black Rabbit. And happy February! Happy February is the other thing. Happy Monday, happy February. Welcome. Hello, Fabby. Come in. Welcome. Good to see you all. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. Hello, Danny. Hello. Come in. Hello everyone, how are we all this evening? I hope that we are all excited, I hope that we're all feeling pumped up and energetic. I know I am. I'm in a pretty good mood this evening, which is always nice. I'm always in a good mood, to be fair, but I'm in a very good mood. I'm feeling energetic. You're going to get a great show tonight. I'm pumped. I am fab, Black Rabbit. I hope you are as well. And hello, Roger, come in, welcome, pull up a chair, everyone. We'll give it a couple of minutes before we get started, and then I'll give a recap of the battle that we had last week, because it was a great battle. Hello, you've come, Roger, that's the important thing, so welcome. You will enjoy tonight. Tonight, Roger, I am putting on an exceptional show for you. I'm feeling good, my hair is big, I'm growing a bit of a beard. The beard will probably go tomorrow, so enjoy the beard, or not beard, enjoy the half beard while it lasts, guys. Come the morning it will probably be gone, unless I'm exceptionally rushed tomorrow, in which case it might last. At some point the beard will go, at which point you'll know I've had a moment to relax. But there are more important things than shaving, like doing this. You love this scruff. Excellent, Rabbit. Roger, I know beards are great, but I can't grow a beard. All I can go is scruff. To the point where I've now made a point of in staff photos and portraits and things of not bothering to shave for them anymore, as, you know, the sight of a clean-shaven Simon. I just want to lower everyone's expectations. You know, from the off. If you're looking at a picture of me, it's this is the real me. Well then, Roger, I have been trying for decades, and eventually it got. Well, Danny, the smiting never leaves. The smiting never leaves. Oh, well, sometimes it leaves when I have to sleep. When I sleep, it leaves. But sometimes, even in sleep, the smiting remains. But the smiting is definitely going to be present. Well, not quite smiting, actually. Tonight is more of a subtle threat in the hands of that evil witch Morgane Le Fay, ladies and gents. The evil witch! I love it when Morgane comes into our stories, by the way. I get really excited when I'm doing a Morgane Le Fay story. I get very upbeat and like, yes! Because I like the witch. She makes me happy. Anyway... Shall I get into tonight's show, ladies and gents? So I finish rabbiting on in that way and get into tonight's show? I think I must. So, without further ado, let me bring you all up to speed, because I know you've had a weekend to forget what's happening now. We are telling the tale of Tristram and Isolde, though Tristram isn't in this tale at the moment. Tristram is the greatest knight in all of Cornwall. He's the knight that belongs to King Mark, but King Mark, even though his knight is exceptionally talented, hates Tristram with a passion. Why does he hate Tristram with a passion, ladies and gents? We know the answer why. It is because Tristram is madly in love with Queen Isolde of Cornwall, and Queen Isolde is madly in love with Tristram as well, and so Mark hates him and wants his destruction. But, ladies and gents, Tristram is a knight that can't be destroyed so easily, for he's the second greatest knight in all the realm after Sir Lancelot himself. And so what King Mark has done is he's begun to see enemies and plots everywhere. He's been going mad with the presence of Tristram. He believes that everyone who loves Tristram is in fact plotting against him, and so, although he might not be strong enough to have Tristram himself killed, what he's been doing instead, what he's been doing, ladies and gents, is trying to slay everyone who loves Tristram or holds him there, believing that he's wiping out all the opposition against him. This culling! Don't worry, Roger, it's blunt. It's a letter opener. It's a letter opener. I couldn't stab myself if I wanted to. What we've got, ladies and gents, is King Mark. King Mark has been plotting to kill. And he's opened with his first killing has been King Mark's own brother, Prince Budwin. Prince Budwin was slain, stabbed through the heart by King Mark because Budwin loved Tristram, and King Mark in turn had then tried to slay Budwin's young son, Sir Alisand. Alisand escaped though, ladies and gents, ran off with his mother into the countryside until he became of an age where he could fight, and then his mother charged him with going to King Mark and slaying him in revenge over his father's death. Alisander agreed. Alisander agreed, and when news came to King Mark that Alisander was alive and about in the realm seeking his destruction, then King Mark set assassins against him. He set the evil knight Sir Malgrin to kill him. He set the evil knight Sir Bruce Sans Pité to kill him. And he set the evil witch Morgane Le Fay and her agents to kill him. Last night, ladies and gents, not last night, on Monday's night, ladies and gents, in a battle of truly epic proportions, Alisand and the evil Sir Malgrin fought for hours, slashing each other thick and thin, cutting away chunks of metal and hauberks from each other's bodies till they were naked and bloody in the field. And then at last Malgrin dropped down to his knees, and Alisand, taking his sword, lifted off Malgrin's helm and lopped off his head. It was a good episode for those who missed it. It's on Catch. Unfortunately, in this battle, Sir Alisand has been terribly injured. And so, ladies and gents, he has been taken into the castle for refuge. And as he has done so, the evil witch Morgane Le Fay has caught sight of Sir Alisand and has come to attend him. The question, ladies and gents, is this: what could Morgane Le Fay be plotting? What evil concoction, evil plan has she got in store? Tonight, ladies and gents, we will find out. Grab your shield, Rareth, as we get into tonight's show. Then Queen Morgane Le Fay searched Alisander's wounds and gave him such an ointment that he should have died. And on the morn when she came to him, he complained that he was sore, and then she put other ointment upon him, and then he came out of his pain. Then came the damsel of the castle, and she said unto Morgane Le Fay, I pray you, help me to save this knight so that he might wed me, for he has won my love with his hands in battle. You shall see, said Morgane Le Fay, what I shall say. And then Morgane Le Fay went to Alisander and bade in any way that he should refuse this lady. She desires to wed you, Morgane said, but she is not for you. And so the damsel came and desired of him marriage. Damsel, said Alisander, I thank you, but as yet I cannot marry in this country. Sir, she said, since you will not marry me, I pray you, that you've won me, that you will give to me a knight of this country, who has been my friend and loved me many years. With all my heart, said Alisand, I will assent. And then was the knight sent for. His name was Gerine le Gros, and anon he made them head fast and wedded them. Then came Queen Morgane le Fay to Alisande, and she bade him to arise and put him in a horse litter. And she gave him such a drink that in 3 days and 3 nights he waked never but slept, until she brought to her own castle, that at the time was called the Castle of Regard. Then Morgane le Fay came to Alisande and asked him if he felt recovered. Who would be sick and who might be whole? Said Alisande. Well, said Morgane le Fay, then you must promise me by your knighthood that this day in 12 months and a day you shall not pass the compass of this castle, and without doubt you shall be made whole. I agree, said Sir Alisande. And there he made her a promise, and then he was soon whole. And once Alisande was whole, then he regretted his oath, for he might not be revenged upon King Mark. And right so, there came a damsel that was cousin to the Earl of Pass, and she was cousin to Morgane le Fay, and by right that Castle of Regard should have been hers by true inheritance. And so the damsel entered this castle, and there lay Alisande, and there she found him upon his bed, passing heavy and all sad. There we have it, ladies and gents, halfway through tonight's tale. And Morgane le Fay has not tried to slay Alisande. Instead she has tried a subtler magic. She has agreed that by her art Alisande might be made whole, on the condition that he might not pass beyond that castle. And in so doing, he might not then be able to continue on towards King Mark, and might not exact his vengeance. And so he is sad, ladies and gents, sad that he is recovered but unable to fill his quest of vengeance. Yeah, Morgane's not as bad as people make out. She only slays people occasionally, Rabbith. Only occasionally. The Lady of the Lake is much worse than Morgane ever was for being wicked. Anyway, we continue. Sir Knight, said the damsel, I wish that you would be merry, for I could tell you of good tidings. Well were me, said Alisande, that I might hear good tidings, for now I stand as a prisoner by a promise I have made. Sir, she said, know you well that you are a prisoner, and worse, that you believe. For my lady, my cousin, Queen Morgane le Fay, keeps you here for no other intent but for to do her pleasure with you whenever she likes. Jesus defend me, said Alisande, from such pleasure. For I would rather cut away my hangers than I would do her such pleasure. Jesus help me, said the damsel. If she would love me and be ruled by me, I should set you free. Tell me, said Alisande, by what means should you have my love? Fair knight, said she, this castle of right ought to be mine. And I have an uncle who is a mighty earl. He is the Earl of Pass, and all folks he hates most Morgane le Fay. I shall send unto him and pray him for my sake to destroy this castle for the evil customs that should be used here. And then will he come and set wildfire on every part of the castle, and I shall get you out at a privy postern, and there you shall have your horse and your harness. You say well, damsel, said Alisande. And then she said, you may keep the room of this castle for 12 months and a day, and then break you not your oath. Truly, fair damsel, said Alisande, you say a wise thing. And then he kissed her, and did to her pleasure as it pleased them both at times and leisures. So anon she sent unto her uncle, and bade him to come and destroy that castle. For as this book says, he would have destroyed that castle before time, had not the damsel been there. And when the earl understood her letters, he sent her word again that on such a day he would come and destroy the castle. And so, when that day came, she showed Alisander a postern wherethrough he might flee into a garden, and there he should find his armour and his horse. When the day came that was set, then came the Earl of Pass with 400 knights, and they set fire on all parts of the castle, that or they ceased, they left not a stone standing. And all this while that the fire was in the castle, he abode in the garden. And when the fire was done, he let make a cry that he would keep that piece of earth there, as the castle of Regard was, a 12 months and a day from all manner of knights that would come. And so it happened that there was a duke who was called Ancyrus, and he was of the kin of Sir Launcelot, and this knight was a great pilgrim. For every 3rd year he would be at Jerusalem, and by cause he used all his life to go in pilgrimage, and it was called for him Duke Ancyrus the Pilgrim. And this duke, he had a daughter who was called Alice, and she was a passingly fair woman. And by cause of her father, she was called Alice the Beautiful Pilgrim. And anon, as she heard of this cry, she went into Arthur's court, and said openly in hearing of many knights, that what knight might overcome the knight who keeps that piece of earth shall have her and all of her lands. When the knights of the Round Table heard her say this, many were glad, for she was a beautiful woman, and she had great prospects. And right so she let cry in castles and towns as far on her side as Alisander did on her side, and she dressed her pavilion straight by the piece of earth that Alisander kept. So she was not so soon there, but there came a knight of Arthur's court. That knight's name was Sir Sagramore the Desirous, and he offered to joust with Alisander, and so they encountered together, and Sagramore the Desirous bruised his spear upon Sir Alisander, but Sir Alisander smote him so hard that he avoided his saddle. When the beautiful Alice saw him joust so well, she thought him a passingly good knight on horseback, and then she leapt out of her pavilion, and took Sir Alisander by the bridle, and thus she said to him, Fair knight, I require ye of your knighthood to show me your face. I dare well, said Alisander, show you my face. And he put off his helm, and she saw his face, and she said, O sweet Jesus, you I might love, and never any other. Then show me your face, he said. There we end, ladies and gents, tonight's tale. Sir Alisander has been delivered from the castle of Morgane le Fay after it was being burnt down by a cousin of Morgane le Fay in exchange for some pleasurable favours in Alisander's bed. Story gets a bit naughty in places, doesn't it? And now Alisander has come across the beautiful lady Alice Pilgrim, who has declared her love for him. And tomorrow night, ladies and gents, we shall find just what happens as he is forced to defend his new love against no other knight than the evil, fated Sir Mordred. I can't wait, ladies and gents. Mordred is coming into the tale. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a great night. That's all still to come, ladies and gents. Tomorrow night on Les Morts d'Arthur. I don't think it wasn't a euphemism, Danny. She really does have great prospects. She's got land and a title. Tomorrow night there will be a heavy smiting. We're going to have 3 knights jousting on horseback, Roger. 3 knights, including the dreaded evil Sir Mordred, which will be awesome and wonderful. And hello, Queen. Hello, Frank. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you have all had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad you're back, Frank. That makes me happy. Well, I'm not a meanie. We can like Mordred. We can like all the characters. We can like the characters for being a bit evil sometimes as well, though. Surely, can't we? I mean, that would work well. Just waking Queen. Just waking. I don't know. To be in another time zone sometimes. To be in another time zone and have only just woken up. That would be nice. Mordred's mum is the evil Queen Morgane Le Fay. And Mordred's mother, the evil Queen Morgane Le Fay, is distant now, but she will come back eventually, ladies and gents. She will come back eventually. And much evil will befall then. So we race now towards the end. Towards the end. Look. We're getting towards the end there. Still a while to go yet, but we'll get there in the end. Frank, in my hand is a letter opener, which I use for smiting and sword fighting and chunk, all that good stuff. It might change. I've always read it as being Morgane Le Fay as the mother. Yes, we've come a long way. A long way, Black Rabbit. 10 seasons. 10 seasons of this show so far. They are a cousin of a sister. They're used for cutting letters. Nothing else. I can duel quite happily against the scissor people in this. In fact, Frank, I carry this just in case the scissor people get me. Have I got a little thing, actually? I could. See, if I had a lapel, I could have, popped this in there. I mean, here we go. Look, I've got a little crest now. There, I've got a crest of a thing. Yeah, I should yes. Coat of arms, ladies and gents. There you go. How is that for a coat? No, it's not working, is it? It's not working. We thought it might work, but it didn't work. Anyway, coming up in a few minutes' time, ladies and gents. I haven't got a higher. It's a Cardi. It's a Cardi Queen. That's as far down as we go. I will remove it. I will remove it. No poking. No poking, guys. But coming up is Poetry Live in a few moments. And I was in a doctor's surgery today, so I picked up the list of poems that they had for the waiting room. So tonight, instead of reading any particular poet, I'm going to read poems for the waiting room, which is a thing we do in England. You might do it in other countries as well. There's a charity that puts pamphlets of poems into waiting rooms, which is a nice thing to do, I think. It's a nice way of introducing poetry. Not necessarily the poems that I would pick for waiting rooms, but what we can do, we can think of what poems to put in there. I would put Do Not Go Gently into that Good Night in there. That might not be right for some folk, but I like it, hang in there is the message. Well, don't poke yourself with your scissors, Frank. Anyway, I am going to go downstairs, ladies and gents, grab some poems and come up and see you in a few moments. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came tonight. Thank you, Danny and Black Rabbit. Thank you, Fabi. Thank you, Roger and Marcella. Thank you, Maribont and Queen and Frank. Lovely to see you. Yes, pamphlets of poems, Danny. So I'm going to run downstairs, grab my pamphlets, and load up Poetry Live in a couple of minutes and see you then. Thank you so much. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.